wait.
What was that?
Wait a minute here. I was with it kind of to the beginning there. Is he improvising?
What he's doing is he's playing with your mind, and he's making a lot of money.
So he's not serious.
He is totally making every possible sort of jazz joke he can pull off.
The musicians backing him up are doing a great job, but
yeah,
he is all over the board.
His name is H. John Benjamin. He is he's Sterling Archer in the animated sitcom Archer. He's Bob Belcher in Bob's Burgers. He's all over the place in this comedic world, and he just did this as a big joke.
He just decided to sit down and get a class band behind him and then just
butcher it.
Butcher
every possible. But Sub Pop Records signed him on. I had to get a hold of them to get this album, and they were being all cheeky. They were like, "Enjoy," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep to this album." My dogs won't fall asleep to this album.
Let me turn this up a little more.
Did you hear it? That is non-syncopation right there, my friends. That is some terrible playing. That's all that is. Oh, my God.
It had to.
It had to be you, John, but it wasn't you.
It had to be that.
Yes, it had to be that. I actually.
Where did you first hear this?
Okay, I was listening to NPR. It plays in my studio at home, and I heard this guy, Robert Siegel, who's a pretty serious dude.
Yeah.
And he was getting thrown. They were throwing it over to him, and they said, "We got to replay this." He was losing his mind talking to this guy. He couldn't stop laughing. They'd play clips. It would be awful, and this guy was trying to be serious. He was like, "Yeah, I was just playing the piano, and I couldn't play, and these guys could play behind me, and I put it out. That's it." And Sub Pop is not a label to sneeze at. That's a serious operation.
Well, you and I have had this discussion before. There is such a thing as being good at being bad.
And he's good at being bad.
I guess being bad in it somehow works, like the alternative band Primus.
Yeah.
Of course, their mantra is Primus sucks.
Right.
And we all understand that, and they're actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go to the classical world, Dr. Peter Schickele, who is known as PDQ Bach, who takes the classics and just butchers them.
Right.
At times. And that man there's a man that has to know his music to do that in a way that you have to know musical construct in order to pull that off, and pull it off well and badly.
Yeah. And speaking of that, it's like Weird Al Yankovic. He's always pulling off some kind of comedic parody of it, but he sells like crazy. People love it.
Yeah, this isn't exactly Spike Jones, which is kind of what I think of Weird Al Yankovic as being, kind of a modern day. I'd go from Spike Jones to, say, Alan Sherman.
Yeah.
And then Hello Mata Hello Fada. And then Weird Al Yankovic.
Right.
Who was just kind of the Spike Jones of our day.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but they have their place. My only thing with these guys, and it's just like Fred Armisen, it's like if you really kind of got a bone to pick with jazz,
yeah,
do you have to go to this extreme? Or, I mean, it just seems to me it's another comedic repartee, and he probably really likes jazz. Otherwise, these guys wouldn't have bought it to be in the middle of something that was that silly.
Well, there is a discussion I think that we have had before, and I've had with a lot of people in the music industry. How is it that you can tell the difference between some avant-garde music,
right,
or so much of jazz is improvisational anyway? How can you tell the difference between something that's bad,
right,
and something that's avant-garde?
Right.
I could get up. I've said before, you could get up on a stage, with a bunch of kazoos and bad horns, badly tuned, release an album, and all you got to do is say, "Well, it's avant-garde."
That's right.
And you might get, praise.
Yeah.
But when you can tell when they're doing it deliberately.
Right.
And
this is deliberate.
This is deliberate.
Yeah, this guy,
he's messing with us.
Yeah, he's just playing around. But even
and
with
maybe
that,
that's what he's asking.
That's the thing. He wants you to think about it. Like, what is the nature of all these guys that are getting together doing improv? And that's kind of what he's asking. They're all kind of doing their own thing, but it comes together.
Who was the jazz artist that was working with Cab Calloway? That was one of these boys later, that became famous in bebop. And I mean, Cab would holler back at him, "Knock it off with the Chinese music."
Yeah, because they used to call them old moldy figs. Those guys, the beboppers, call it the old China. God, who would it have been? Oh man, I mean, it could have been a handful of people.
I want to say Monk.
Yeah, it could have been Monk because Monk was extreme. He was nailing that piano. I think it was
Monk.
Yeah. And Monk was off on. I mean, it was bebop, but at the same time, he was all over the place with those notes. I mean, he was banging that keyboard.
Yeah.
Kind
of like we do on the desk here sometimes.
That's right. Enjoy the music.
My friends.
So, yeah. But anyway, I had to bring that to your attention. One other thing that I was bringing up, and we'll get into this later, is how many people, like Jeff Goldblum is actually a jazz musician.
Yeah. Now, does that surprise you?
No. If you look at him and you see him on stage, are you surprised? No,
not at all.
He has the look.
And I'll tell you one guy who does a drop dead Jeff Goldblum, and that's Frank Caliendo.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind do I like peppers? Do I like? Well, yes. He does that so well, and he's kind of got that spacey thing going.
Yeah.
And he plays jazz. Well, really?
Yeah.
Now Woody Allen, that's another guy that didn't surprise me.
Right, yeah.
As intelligent as he is, I figured he had outlets for his sense of humor and just his eclectic sense of things all over the place.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. Tony Bennett's a painter.
Right, absolutely. And he's a good painter. He's a gallery-style painter. But yeah, Woody Allen, I saw a special on that. He's serious about the clarinet. He practices all the time. He takes it dead serious.
Yep.
So... It's, restless fingers, man. You got to get out there and do something.
I guess so. If I play the clarinet, I
love the clarinet.
I love the clarinet. I love to play it, and you maybe sit out in the audience and listen, or run, or maybe I'll just write a poem,
or go paint a picture.
I'll paint a picture,
or have a cup of tea.
Thank you, Woody.
Thank you. We love you.
Anyway, the man that you've been listening to underneath us, H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, American actor, voice actor, comedian.
And a
comedian.
Yeah, I like his picture up there. It's kind of "Don't Hit Me."
It's a mugshot.
Yeah, it's kind of a mugshot.
Don't hit me one more time. And he has the black and the white. It's the Wikipedia shot. But he can add now. He's a comedic jazz musician. So. That's his bag.
Okay, well, if jazz, especially the avant-garde end of it, has been kind of difficult for you to understand, I think you'll find in H. John Benjamin a man who might relate to you a little bit.
And in honor of H. John Benjamin, I think we're going to both bang on the table here and see if we can't make a little bit of music on our way out. And with that, enjoy the music. Music. Woo.
Neon Jazz.